there is a massive pay disparity that happens between men and women. And that pay disparity ultimately, bogs down towards wealth disparity as well. Then now that you are at the other side of the equation, you start feeling, how that landlord would be feeling.
Absolutely.
And start becoming more. It is a big amount. If you're a first-time investor, you have to pay, $10,000 to $15,000 to buyer's agency. It does feel a lot, but when you make tenfold in, 1 to 2 years, you realize that this is an investment that you're making. Hello and welcome to another episode of Help Me Buy Property podcast. Today's discussion is about a client journey. This client journey is particularly very unique, and it's also very close to my heart because this is where transformation of life takes place. And I'll get her to talk about, what was going through her head, how did, she came into property, how did she was introduced to IPG. But, it's those emotional connections that really drives a person from being a client to IPG to then working with, Investor Partner Group in itself. So, thank you, Riya, for joining us.
Thank you, Moss. Thank you for inviting me. Where do I start? Well,
talk to me a bit about yourself. Tell me a bit about your background. What do you do?
Yes, so
drew you to investing.
Absolutely. I'm Riya. My morning day job is supply chain. I work in an alcohol industry.
Amazing.
But obviously, I'm a divorcee now. Was married for 18 years. Obviously, the divorce happened and it was all of a sudden. The journey began from there because it was a setback for me, not just emotional, but financial as well. Financial more because obviously I had nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing under my name, no savings, nothing. I had to start from scratch.
Yeah. And it's really hard, right?
It is.
When you are at a certain stage in life and you're not expecting the unexpected and that happens, and then all of a sudden one morning you wake up and you realize you have no financial stability. You have a job that, brings money or paper in your bank account every month, but you don't know what your future holds anymore.
Absolutely. Right? It was quite stressful because obviously I didn't know where to start. The money was the major issue. I've got 2 kids. At the time when the divorce happened, my kids were younger. So 13 and 15, so pretty young, school-going kids. All the expenses, everything which comes around, it was quite mind-boggling for me. It's like paycheck to paycheck. It was getting too hard for me to, scrape through.
Yeah. How do you get the courage at that time to even think about property?
I'm telling you, women, they get very courageous after some time.
Yes.
I think when you put your mind to it, you actually get it and do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt, that I can't dwell on these things.
Yeah.
I have to come out of my shell and start doing something about it.
What was the inflection point? Like, who drove you? Was it a person? Was it an event? Something?
It's a mix of things.
What triggered it?
Person, events. Varsha was one of them who actually inspired me, because she also went through a similar thing, because we used to talk a lot. And women empowerment, how to educate women financially. These were the talks we used to have. And I was thinking to myself, when I'm talking to her, why am I not doing myself?
100%.
And that's when Riya said she was starting Raw, which is the real estate for women, which actually triggered me that, why shouldn't I start investing there?
Yeah.
I had a chat with Varsha. She's the one who introduced me to IPG as well. And of course, to yourself. And from there, the journey began.
Yeah.
Because
what was some of the key things that, I'm sure that, you would have experienced, talking to a lot of people before when it comes to property investing and done your due diligence. What were the key takeaways from your perspective that you were looking confident of people who can deliver that
trust
for you?
First of all, the major thing is trust for me. I wanted to trust a person or people who will actually increase whatever small amount of money I have to double it. I don't want to lose that money,
Of course.
whatever I have. So that's where my thing came, that I want to have a team or people who are working with me and grow with me as well.
Yeah.
They just don't think about themselves, but about me as well.
Yeah.
And putting me to the right direction.
And I still remember, I think, our first conversation, you were very, very nervous when you
Yes.
first came in and talked to me.
Yes.
And we were discussing, at a really high level about, what your aspirations are and what you're trying to achieve, and kids going to private school, and of course, all of these expenses, others coming through. And of course, Sydney life, right? It's not cheap anymore.
Yeah.
And so how did the strategy pan out? Take us through the experience.
Actually, Moss, I would say that the strategy session with you was an eye opener for me, because I never knew I could do what I have already started doing. The first property which I went into, obviously that was the first stepping stone for me. It was quite nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, of course.
Because I had no knowledge about finance, no knowledge about investment, no knowledge about house, how, what, where, nothing.
Yeah.
So I think the team guided me to the right direction. They helped me. They poached the right kind of area, which was great.
Yeah.
And obviously I took the first step.
Yeah.
And from there, I feel more confident now.
Yeah. What was the key learnings from that first property? Because, of course, as a first-time investor or the first time you're buying a property, what were the reservations? What was going through your head? I remember, if I talk about my journey of buying the first property, my hands were literally shaking signing the first contract. And in those days, there was no DocuSign, you had to literally sign with paper, right?
Yeah. I think the first thing what actually put me back was too many paperwork.
Yeah.
Bank papers of the bank. What am I signing? Don't know.
Yeah.
Then of course lawyers, get the solicitor sign, then conveyancer. All these things were quite nerve-wracking. And I remember that I was in the conference when the first property acquisition was happening, and Taharim, who is one of the colleagues, she was calling me frantically, "You have to sign this paperwork right now, right now. I'm in the conference. I can't do it." But I think the patience and all the things what she guided me through, we did it.
Yeah.
The other thing which actually was quite nerve-wracking was the amount.
Yeah.
Spending $500,000 at one hit for me, even taking loan, that's different, but it's money, basically. I was thinking, oh my God, have I done the right thing? Have I bought the right property?
Have I signed my life away to a debt?
Correct. I'm now locked in for the mortgage. Am I able to pay it? Whether the rent will do it? What is going to happen? All these things were, happening in my head. But I think what set me to do and calm myself down was, I've taken the step now.
Yeah.
I have to just move forward now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll just keep dwelling on it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
And I have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that first property made the opening for me. I've already got the second property now.
So how did the first property perform? So you went through all of this.
It performed pretty well, actually. It has gone up by almost 100K. I bought the property in November. In one month. Yeah, 1 month. It actually grew by 100K.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. And so you're already down the second property.
Yes.
And, I think it comes down to the validation as well, right? A lot of the nervousness is because you haven't seen it perform, you haven't seen the validation.
Yeah.
Once the validation happens, of course, you become a lot more comfortable, right? The other thing is, you had some issues with the maintenance side of things at the start with the property, and and that's very nerve-wracking for a lot of people too, right?
Yes, it did. But the maintenance things didn't happen at the beginning. It just started happening after some time. Gradually, because obviously property, what you are acquiring is already built property, and and they are tenanted. So you will come across these things. I did not take those things into account. Not that nobody told me, it's just that I did not take those into account. But the property had a little bit of maintenance challenges, which in the long run, what I sit down and think about is these things will happen. I also currently am renting. There are maintenance issues in my property as well, which I'm renting. So it is part and parcel of 100%. When you get into investment.
Being the landlord for the first time, you don't realize, how picky the tenants are, right?
Correct.
And, I always dwell back to when I was a tenant and I was a very fussy tenant.
Yes.
I remember, having a go at my landlord, and this is going back 2000, because I rent Wested for quite some time before I bought a property for myself. I was very fussy about the owner putting an aircon in the house, and this was me moving back to Melbourne. And the owner was like, "No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not required to." And I was like, "Dude, it's so hot. You need to put at least one aircon in the house." And I still remember I negotiated that I'll pay 50%, you pay 50%. I don't care. You just put an aircon in. So, but then now that you are at the other side of the equation, you start feeling how that landlord would be feeling.
Absolutely.
And so you start becoming more responsible.
And I think, and you said it right, when you yourself are renting and you see the other side as well, that's when you start to feel, no, I think their expectation is exactly like my expectation to my landlord.
100%.
Yes, there was a little bit of maintenance, but I'm not going to be negative about it.
100%.
Probably
you're seeing the growth coming
absolutely
through now, and that's what is more important, right?
It's the part and parcel of investment. If it was too much of issues, that's when it becomes
and, we would have to understand and appreciate that we're not buying schmick-looking properties. We're going for big land opportunities.
Correct.
And some of these properties are old, and we are allowing for them in the cash flow side of things. So it basically washes out at the very end.
Don't get yourself taken on a ride by property spookers, so-called property investment advisors, or buyers agents who are selling house and land packages or off-the-plan properties or apartments. Get yourself a copy of this book called The Millennial's Guide to Property Investing. This book is not just for millennials. The title suggests, but it's actually the most advanced way of investing in property. This book will relate to your clients, your colleagues, and other business owners. There are so many property spookers out there who have come out of the woodwork over the last 3 to 5 years, and there is so much misinformation out there that I had to write a book about all the F-ups that people can actually avoid in order to be super successful in the property investment journey. Some of these are really easy to identify, but they are so costly to fix once these mistakes are made. So it's a short book, it's easy to read, it has a lot of stories, it has a lot of examples, and it is a true guide for people who wants to do it themselves. My name is Moxin Reza. This is my story, and a lot of you will relate to parts of this story if you're not born in the riches and if you're trying to build a property portfolio that can last generations and help you improve your lifestyle along the way. So I give you a chance to come out there and have a read. Be kind, stay safe, keep smiling, keep investing, and please do check out the book.
So second property already, but you're still rent vesting, right?
Yes.
And so, talk to us through as to what went through the head, instead of, because, naturally Sydney siders, the first thing that they do is default to, buying $1.2-1.5 million property, right? So
see, my strategy right now is I want to buy 5 investment property and then get into my own property. Well, high hopes. But
not, right?
my second property, I wanted to invest only and I didn't want to get into my principal properties because I would then lock my borrowing capacity. As long as I can borrow and I can grow my portfolio, in the long run, then I can sell 2-3 properties and get my own property in the near future. And that's what my plan is. And also, I'm thinking about my kids because today's age kids, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to get up from their chair and do anything.
They wouldn't even get the opportunity of, buying some of these most expensive properties anywhere, right? They wouldn't have the opportunity. I think, give them 10, 20 years, no one would talk about $500,000-600,000 property, right?
No.
So
by the time they get into property, investment, I think it'll be out of their reach probably.
So 2 properties already, looking for the third one. We are going down the path of co-living so that we can add more cash flow to your property portfolio. Rolling back to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the old Riyaa versus the reformed new Riyaa. How does that feel like, from going from that person who was scared and, going down the path of analysis paralysis, had money sitting in the bank account from the, the divorce settlement and, didn't know what to do with this, to where you are right now, landlord, owner of 3 properties? What does that make you feel?
See, anyone who comes to me now, I'm a different person altogether, more confident, more financially educated as well. And I won't say too much, but at least when I'm talking to my brother-in-law, he's like, oh my God, you're talking like finance, really. So I see the difference in me where nobody can say anything to me and just, bluff around. When people are poaching me for property, even from IPG, I'm asking questions. The first property, I did not ask any questions.
Amazing.
So the second property, I asked questions. They're like, that's a fair question. That's a fair, we have to go and check. So all these things come with experience. Okay. Now, if any woman or any people, I'm not gender, biased. But any person who comes to me now, I would tell them how to guide them to the investment. I'm not going to tell them where to buy it from, but basically tell them that you need to go and see these people who know what they are doing.
And so why IPG? Like, what made it so different? Like, why should they come to us?
Talk to a few of the buying agents, and what I felt different with IPG is they are more family oriented. They are more looking after the people rather than extracting money. So when I spoke to you and I told you I only have, this is my asset pool, or this is the pool I have, and I'm not getting any more pool. You looked after that and said, okay, from this only we will be building the property. With the buyer's agent or any other agency I've gone to, all they said is, oh, we're going to look at it, brokers will there, this is what, okay. No, I don't think you can do it. So that was the first letdown for me, where people were putting me, you can't even achieve it. So that was first thing. The second thing which I felt with IPG is you guys do a lot of research before you come to the client, which is amazing to see. It's not just one property. You are looking at several property before even you're going to present to me. And I know for sure the property which you are presenting it to me, you have looked into every side of the, areas, whether it is, good property, good yield, I get rental easily, all these things, you have all looked into it. The third one is people. I feel that every people in the company are very, very gentle, very nice. Even if I get frustrated, they won't get frustrated, It's easy to work with them. That's what I felt with IPG.
And it's important. Look, our perspective always about, people who we are working with is making sure that, not only we are educating them, but we are also leaving the experience quite delightful as well. It's not just about, buying one property and see you later. It's about making sure that, we are reviewing the portfolio, discussing the strategies, going in the right direction, making sure that all of this counts towards ultimate goal of, you buying your principal place of residence or paying your debt down and having a lifestyle that you want, right? It's not just about killing or sacrificing the lifestyle. And that what, sits at the core of all of this. Now, I know that, you have joined Varsha in her, Real Estate for Women initiative, which is super amazing. And, I strongly believe that initiative in itself about empowering, engaging, and helping people, climb the property ladder as well. What made you join that? Like, talk to me a bit about, that sort of mindset and headspace that...
As I said at the beginning, we used to talk about a lot of women empowerment, how to educate women, especially financially, because in our culture, not just in our culture, in any culture, women they don't know anything about finance. And it only hits them when things mishaps happen.
Yeah.
Not just
Infliction
divorce.
point,
Yeah, not just
medical,
divorce. Absolutely.
emergency.
Anything. Women are the one who actually every time get
Very disadvantaged. Yeah.
very disadvantaged. So I used to talk to Varsha, what is the way we can, educate them? And she came up with this thing. I'm going to do this thing. Let's join me. We can do this. So that's how I said, she said, join me, please.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, definitely, I will join you. This is the best thing I could do to help the society.
Yeah.
The way they helped me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And how do you see yourself growing with the company when you talk about, IPG's future? What excites you the most? Where do you see, the company heading, or, the growth that is coming through, and, how fast are we growing? And together with that yourself, how do you see,
I'll grow with the company, definitely. Well, I can see all the strategies and all the plannings what you guys put into place. Basically, I feel that it is going to grow.
Yeah.
You're not just looking at one aspect of the industry, you're looking at different areas which is like you're not putting eggs in one basket. You have expanded and different areas of buying capacity. You're looking at different income capacity as well, which is the most important thing. People who are not in, doctors and engineers who are earning a lot of money,
high income,
but also people who are earning $80,000, $100,000. They can also start investing.
100%.
And specifically women, they don't earn a lot. At the beginning, they'll start 65, 70K, but they want to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, that we need to start educating women where they can start, how they can start, what they have to do. How they can discipline themselves to get into the, area of property investment.
I strongly believe that, there is a massive pay disparity that happens between men and women. And that pay disparity ultimately, bogs down towards wealth disparity as well, right?
Absolutely.
Where, women are not encouraged to buy properties because the husband has bought a property, or, they are left with nothing in their in the piggy bank, because ultimately it's the guy who is on the bandwagon of building wealth.
Absolutely.
Right? So I see that journey continuing. There is massive disparity where men control a lot more assets than women.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, what tends to happen is that by the time the woman gets to that particular pay package of them being ready to go into property or building wealth, they are usually met by either property spookers or someone taking advantage of them and betraying the trust. And that's again a setback, because then they are sold the pipe dream of buying apartments or expensive houses in Sydney that don't grow in value, and then they're sacrificing their lifestyle, they're sacrificing their kids' lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And all of that basically encompasses to poor outcomes and poor well-being as well.
Absolutely. Right? Well, saying that, it's actually reminded me an incident just after my divorce. I wanted to get money quickly.
Yeah, it's always the case, right?
It's always the case.
Rich fast.
Yeah, and I was scammed. And
really,
scammed, and which actually was the biggest setback for me, and that's the reason I got really scared as to what to do now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other women or other people everywhere in the world go through the same thing what I have gone through. I'm no different. And probably that might be one of the reasons people don't come out that quickly as well.
Yeah. So was that scam in relation to property, or was it something else?
No, money. So basically, it was like a Amazon thing. At that time, there were a lot of.
Unfortunately, that's the key, right? And when you hear about these stories where people have been disadvantaged and they already have trust issues, and then they are scammed, and then they lose complete trust on not just on people but humanity in general, right?
Absolutely.
So every person that they talk to, they have their walls up, they have their guards up, and they think that everyone is out there to get them. And so, rebuilding that trust, takes a lot of time, but it's important that like women, especially like disadvantaged women, comes out of this quite quickly, so that they can build true wealth and be on the wagon of creating true wealth and generational wealth for the kids as well, right?
So that's the reason I joined Varsha. So she's doing a great thing basically. She's
so if you have to give say, one piece of advice for people who are looking for, buying a property or looking to, use a buyer's agent, what are some like 2 or 3 pieces of advice that you would give out to these people?
I think I'm not going to say come to specific buying agency.
And I think that's genuine, right?
Yes, I am being genuine. But what I would say, what I did was did my research, find the right people whom you gel with. Most important, trust the people, trust the team. Start. Don't even think. Start investing.
I think that's.
And the second thing which I feel is, when you join the team, because you're not joining a person, you're joining a team as well. You need to really put yourself in their position as well, what they're going
100%.
through,
Yeah.
because they are taking their time, they are taking investing to do all the work behind the scene.
Definitely.
Because a lot of people, what happens is and it has happened with me, is obviously every agency, everything is money, right? Whether it's a buying agency who is asking for $20,000, $30,000, or $10,000, it's money.
Yeah.
People who have started investing, every penny is important for
100%.
them. But what any new investor needs to think that when they are investing, you are paying for the services,
100%.
and that service what you're getting is excellent.
Yeah.
And in the long run, you will get that money back.
100%.
It's not that you won't.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt at the beginning. I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay this money. But
and I think it is, it is a big amount for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Right? Especially if you're a first-time investor.
Absolutely.
And if you have to pay, $10,000 to $15,000 to a buyer's agency,
Yeah.
It does, feel a lot.
Yeah.
But when you make tenfolds in, literally like, 1 to 2 years, you realize that this is an investment that you're making.
Correct.
What are the key things that you would look out for when you are, looking out for these companies? What are the key takeaways? Ask these questions, follow this process.
Yeah, you need to ask the right questions. Basically, how they're going to help you. What is the strategy in the strategy session? How is it benefiting you?
Yeah.
It's all about you. It's not about them.
Yeah.
How they are doing things for you, that's what you need to see.
Yeah.
Whether you have 100K, 200K in your bank, how they can multiply that, whether you can have 1 property, 2 property, or 5 property from that 200K.
Yeah.
Whether that they can do it for you, ask the right question. And the second thing is obviously, basically, whether you are ready to do it as well. For me, I felt that I only approach the buyer agency or any agency when I am ready.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste their time as well.
100%.
A lot of people do that. They go and talk and then don't call them back.
Yes.
That's what has
you
happened.
need to be ready. You need to be in the decision-making zone. You need to be ready to take an action. Because you don't want to go around, window shopping, right? Just for the sake of, understanding what's happening. And look, it's okay to get education. There's so many podcasts available out there. There's so many books available out there for you to, get education. And, you can jump on Australian Property Academy and we give out free courses.
Absolutely.
So there's heaps of information out there for people to absorb and do it themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, one last question that I do have is, you have used multiple different, parts of our business. So you've used buyer's agency and tax and mortgage. And how do you feel about all of that?
Oh, it's so amazing, Moss. It is, for me, that is a blessing, because when a person doesn't have any tax agent or, conveyancer or, lawyer, broker, it's one package for us.
Yeah.
You don't have to look around.
Yeah.
All things are getting done. That was a seamless exercise for me. The first property, getting the property, brokers doing the thing, sideline, all these things are getting done. I'm just sitting, signing the paper. That's all I felt that.
Yeah.
So,
and even like, as I said, for the first time investor, even signing that so much paperwork and providing so much information is already overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And other than that, you have to go out, find your own conveyancer and the property manager, and organize the finance and get the tax document and the trust done. And all of that becomes
because I did my properties through trust. So, I had no knowledge about trust, and having someone from the team who had extensive knowledge and telling me, yes, you need to do this thing and this is what needs to be done. Okay, I've done it. Here's the paper, sign it. Okay, fine.
And it's interesting. I think when we first spoke and we were discussing the strategy, and I said, you'll buy 3 properties, you'd be like, no, the bank will not give me.
Yes, I remember.
And, we did that strategy exercise, and I said, no, the trust is the key, because if you don't go down the path of trust, all of this goes to waste.
Absolutely.
How does it feel with the first conversation versus, now?
Well, you gave me the right direction, boss. That's what I'm telling you. People need to understand. You gave me the right direction and you have to follow through.
Yeah.
If I didn't follow through, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. But definitely, I felt that when you looked at it and you gave me the information that you have to do it through trust, which opened the gate for me.
100%.
Otherwise, my first property, I would be blocked.
Yeah. 100%.
Nothing else.
I mean, and this is the problem with majority of people, right?
Correct.
When you talk about people earning, below $130,000, $140,000, that's the problem.
Exactly.
You buy 1 property, maybe maximum of 2 properties, and that's it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The world basically closes down on you. So,
yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you for trusting the process, and thank you for becoming part of the team. I'm super excited.
Oh, thank you.
With that for women, and I'm sure that you'll achieve bigger and better things.
We will, and we will take it there.
Yes.
We want to grow, absolutely.
And for viewers and listeners, look, I mean, if you have your own stories to share, please jump on the comments, share your own stories. What are the things that you like about your buyer's agents, or what are the things that you hate about your buyer's agents, and what are the key things that you would want people to ask questions in relation to? Is it the experience? Is it the number of years that they've worked with? How detailed is the strategy? Have they delivered that strategy for other people? What type of properties are they buying? What type of price points are they focusing on? Where are these properties located? I think ask those smart questions. How do they have tax? Do they have mortgage? Do they have conveyancing? Do they have lawyers? Do they have all of these services available to them? Majority of the buyers agents or property investment advisors would have, strategic partners. They don't do this in-house. And so how controlled is the environment? Would I have a point of contact? Can I speak to the guy at the top? So all of these questions are quite relevant and quite important. So make sure that you're asking the right questions. I think golden words, Riya said that, it's more about making sure that you are comfortable with the person that you're working with. You are building that relationship that is going to last for you while you're building that wealth journey. Thank you for listening to us today. Take care, stay safe, keep smiling, keep investing. This is Moxin Reza checking out. Adios.